Hi guys, so I wanted to talk to you today about some really good value for money makeup products. I just did a good value for money skincare video, so check that out if you are in the market for some new skincare, which aren't we all at the end of the day? So I wanted to talk to you about some makeup products. Now, in general, when it comes to skincare and makeup, I tend to spend a little bit more money on my products, and I just tend to have better luck when I do it that way, but there are some good products out there that are not going to cost you an arm and a leg that are certainly worth mentioning, and I wanted to make sure with this video that I talked about products that I actually use and I actually like, especially coming from someone who spends more money typically on products, and just invests. I look at it as an investment, you know, that I wanted to just talk about products that I brought with me home to use for the summer because they're really good, and products that I had at home already that I just didn't have room for in New York. So we'll start with foundation products. So Revlon's PhotoReady BB cream is pretty fantastic. It's not a BB cream in the sense that it has really any skincare in it at all last time I checked, but I could be wrong. Let's look at the ingredient list. Oh hey, it's not bad. Hyaluronic acid is kind of lower on the list. Some glycerin. Licorice root, cucumber seed. Lecithin. Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but, you know, it's not in the sense of, like, having a lot of treatment, and it's not going to do so much that. But they do have a few different shades. You get SPF 30, which is really what sold me, because a lot of the BB creams in the drugstore have, like, very minimal SPF, which is, like, what the hell is the point? It's not a BB cream, that's just, like, a repackaged foundation, which at the end of the day is what BB creams are. But I liked this. You know, it's a good color. I have light medium. It goes pretty neutral, covers pretty nicely. It's a good product, worth looking into. Maybelline's Fit Me foundation. Now I know that they relaunched it with like matte and poreless and then like smooth and dewy or whatever. I have the original one. The only thing is I can never find my color in drugstore foundations, which is tricky. A lot of them tend to go very pink, which is a bit unfortunate. This one goes more golden, but it's way too dark for me. But this is a great foundation. I compare this very similarly to Chanel Vita Lumiere. Pretty similar formula as far as being dewy, offering a nice, slightly light medium coverage. And they smell similar, I think, too, even. Yeah, it smells pretty similar to Vita Lumiere. Not as nice, but pretty close. So that one's worth looking into. Been a fan of that for a few years now. Same thing with the powder. Their pressed powder is pretty darn good, as you can tell. Run through this pretty significantly. It's just a good pressed powder that doesn't look extremely dry or flat on the skin. It has a bit of a satin finish to it, so it looks great. And I like the packaging. You know, it's not super high quality plastic, but still good. Maybelline's Dream Lumi Concealer. I have one. I've gotten my mom on this. I have a few different shades actually in my kit. It's a good, more matte finish highlighting concealer than any of the other ones. Some of them can go pretty dewy and stay kind of tacky. This one sets pretty matte, so it doesn't tend to move around as much. But it also doesn't glide on as nicely as some of the other ones, but it's still a good option. Rimmel's Natural Bronzer, this is in Sunlight, but they also have one that's a little less pink, but still matte. Awful packaging, like the cap does not stay on at all. It like is barely staying on there, but it's a good bronzer. It's matte, goes on pretty nicely, definitely worth, you know, the few bucks that it is. Maybelline's Dream Wonder Fluid Touch Foundation, this one's pretty new, loaded with alcohol, so if that's not an issue for you, it's a good Armani Maestro / YSL Fusion Ink / Dior Nude Air dupe. Actually, no, it's really only Maestro and Fusion Ink because Dior is LVMH and theirs is a little different texture. But this is like one of those really thin, super silicone-y matte finish foundations. I can't find my color, so I have Sandy Beige number 60, and I mix it with a lighter shade of Armani Maestro to get my right color. But yeah, I mean, it's a good foundation as far as aesthetics goes. Ingredients, no, but then neither is the expensive Armani Maestro, so what are you going to do? So those are good inexpensive options. last but not least, we have Maybelline's Fit Me concealer, which is bomb.com. I have one that I keep in my bag, and then I have one in my drawer over here. This is number 20. I have 10 in my bag, but this is a beautiful concealer. This is super liquidy, but covers incredibly well. It doesn't set as matte as like NARS Radiant Creamy or Chanel's Corrector Perfection. It's more liquidy, but certainly a great one that covers really nicely and looks fresh and dewy on the skin. And it looks great, so big fan of that. Clinique's Invisible Blend Blended Face Powder is a great value for money because you get a lot of product. There's kaolin in here. It's talc silica nylon 12 based, so it doesn't look super flat or super dry or super cakey, but it does help with oil control. You get 35 grams of product, which is a ton. You get a lot more product in here than you would with some other high-end loose powders. And I love this. I've loved this for years. I've had this for a long time and I still have half left. So big fan of that. Let's move on to, let's talk about eyes. Rimmel Scandalized Waterproof Kajal. Nice. They're not the longest lasting eyeliners in the world, but they are pretty long wearing on the eyes, and they make some great colors, as well as a nude, which is fantastic. Who would have thought we need a nude eyeliner in the drugstore? Good one. Definitely like that. And then NYX's retractable eyeliners are good. They wear pretty well. They go on really smooth. They have some good color payoff to them. So that's the white one, and they make a bunch of colors. Also, their slide-on eyeliners are supposed to be pretty darn good, but I've never personally used them. The Rimmel Kajal is a bit creamier and a bit smoother, but still NYX's are worth looking into. NYX also makes really good lip pencils as well. And just as a brand, NYX tends to be pretty darn good. L'Oreal's Color Riche Balms are really great as well if you like just a really sheer hint of color with a little hydration and a little glow. I don't have any natural colors. I only have the blue one and the white one. But I love the feeling of these. They do feel like a balm on the lips, and good just for like a fresh pop of like sheer color. So those are good. Sally Hansen Insta Dry nail polishes are pretty nice. Quite like them. I love this color, this Brisk blue. It's unlike any other blue that I have, and I have a lot of blues because I love blue. I have blue on my toes right now, which I would show you if I could lift up my leg that far. Good colors, and wears pretty well, and it does dry down really fast, and the brush is really good. It's like a Dior brush. It's very much like the Dior brush. So it's pretty wide and flat, but it glides on deliciously on the nails. Let's see, what else can we talk about? E.L.F. Studio brushes. I've talked at length about these before. Just some of the best brushes that I have, and I have multiple duplicates of some of these because I use them so often, but I love the blush brush, I love the complexion brush, I love the blending brush, I love the, what else do I love? The powder brush is pretty good. Yeah, so those are my favorites. And then Sonia Kashuk makes fantastic brushes as well. I have a few different ones from her, so definitely worth looking into. The Sonia Kashuk Tools, which is the black handle ones in their regular, original line, are pretty great as well. I love those. She makes a really good spoolie. Good eye brushes. Better eye brushes than face brushes, that's for sure, but some of the face brushes are darn good. Boots No7 brushes are great. You can get these at some Walgreens stores. I know Dwayne Reed has some of the Dwayne Reeds have them, but this is the eyeshadow blend and contour. It's like a very flimsy version of a MAC 217, but it's a great blending option. And then Kala eyebrow spoolie is a pretty good one. That's that. And then, yep, I think that is it. Yeah, I didn't want to throw anything in here that didn't need to be here, but those are my picks for my favorite good value for money / inexpensive products. As far as like foundations, it tends to be trickier because normally foundations will only give you, 1 ounce of product, so regardless of how much money you spend, so that can be a little trickier. So it's more, inexpensive products, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you all real soon. Bye!